Welcome to 10 to 1, where we often make top 10 lists, but not today. Today is a book review. And I'll say goodnight to my daughter poking her head in. And I'm joined by a special guest.
Hi,
Welcome,
thanks
Jake,
for having
to
me,
the show.
Brian.
Yeah, good to talk to you again. It's been, I guess, probably a couple years since we met up in Minneapolis for the Twin
Yeah, that
Cities
was
10 mile.
fall of 24, I think. So, yeah, getting on about a year and a half now. Yeah, you too.
Yep, it's good to talk to you again. Why don't we, let's just jump into Moon People 2, Mars Reborn. I will do show and tell. I have my hard copy of Moon People.
Oh, at least you still kept yours.
So that's nice to have. I'm never getting rid of this. I even have a mug, a Moon People mug. I don't know if you can quite read it. That's how much I like Moon People. And why don't you go ahead and tell the story of how we first read Moon People? And then
Yeah, so we're
2.
both listeners to 372 Pages We'll Never Get Back, a Bad Books podcast. I'm assuming that we both heard about it the same way through the Sci-Fi Christian when Ben gave his rant about Ready Player One.
I think so.
Throughout the podcast, they've done several bad books. They've done some professionally published ones, all the Ernest Cline books. They do some self-published independent books. And this was one of those. It was a self-published Kindle Amazon book. And actually, it was kind of at a good time. I think it was right at the beginning of the COVID era that we read this one. So kind of a nice, lighthearted escape from everything else that was going on. But yeah, no, it was just the sincerity and the insanity of the book. It's a lot of this happened and this happened and this happened. It's Axe Cop, essentially.
Yes. Oh man, I haven't thought about Axe Cop in years.
But I think we both kind of look at the 372 Pages podcast every once in a while and just go, have they done Moon People 2 yet? And kind of hope to hear about it. But
yes.
Yeah, no, they'll do cozy mysteries a lot, but haven't gotten back to Moon People 2 yet. So.
Which is really a shame. It's.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I really liked Trucking Through Time quite a bit, but I think Moon People is clearly far and away the most fun read. Like, there's bad books that are not fun.
Right.
Almost every bad book is not fun, I think. And it's just kind of like the fun of the podcast is often like them suffering, the host suffering, and then making fun of it, or you're kind of going along with them and groaning. But I don't know. When I read the first one, it was like, did somebody like put a video camera on me and like study me and then write a book just to make me happy? So I think it's also, is it also your favorite of the?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's one that I'll go back through the podcast feed and I'll re-download those episodes if I don't have enough podcasts to get me through a weekend or power me through a run or anything. I'll download those and re-listen to it and just kind of relive the magic. Nothing beats the first time though. So, but it's it's still better than some of the, like, there's ones that I've left reviews just saying, I tried and I could not finish. Like, I could not force my way through these. So, there's some that, you just kind of listen along. There's some that you read along with. And this is just one of those that you can't put it down. The insanity just kind of keeps, like, you can't turn away from it. It's a train wreck.
Yes. And there's definitely some elements. I think the big one for me is, I think I think it's incontrovertible that he wrote this with a
absolutely
bad speech to text. Like it was, yeah. Like I mean, I don't know if there was any really good speech to text until just a few years ago. I think this would be still fun, but not. It's way more fun that it's a guy telling a story. I assume just like in a computer and to his phone or in a microphone to his computer, and then not doing any editing checks, no spell checks, just
I think that's the only way that you can explain
Kindle.
all of the misuse of words. The two and two is obviously an easy one to pick out. I was going through my highlights today, and I had highlighted one point where I said it's worth noting he used the correct two here. So, but I think when you get some of the
that's great.
Intact is two different words. And then just kind of the way that I imagine he speaks and he's telling this story, it has to be some type of speech to text. And 2008, 2009, these weren't great by any means. So.
Right. My favorite is handsome, but instead of the extremely common word handsome with a D, usually not pronounced, I think. It's handsome like a hansom cab.
Right.
Like what Sherlock Holmes used to ride around in. There's no way that he typed handsome. He must know how to spell handsome.
With the reports that he's giving to President Bush and President Obama, you would think that he has some writing skills. Okay, all right.
Okay, so maybe let's talk about that briefly. He is a real person. I think, but I keep going back and wondering. What do you think? What's your take? Is this a real, actual person writing these books?
I think it's more fun in my mind to believe that it's a real person. This could be a troll. They'd be just a world-class troll, but it's more fun to believe that it's a real person. And so I'm just going to continue to believe that it's a real person.
Okay. I'm definitely a fan of the believing the more fun theory. For sure. Okay, so maybe let's not keep. Let's jump to the chase.
Mm-hmm.
Moon People 2, Mars Reborn. Does it live up to the?
I don't think so. I think the first one is still better. I had a lot more fun with that one. This one still, you get a lot of the same insanity, a lot of the same story beats, but it's a little too repetitive from what we got in the first one. It's this, you get the out of nowhere love interest, and we'll probably hit on that at some point tonight.
We'll talk about that.
The just overly optimistic, positive way everybody talks, everything is excellent, and wow, that's so awesome. And you kind of get that weird. He tries to be very formal, we've got this communique coming in from the president, sir. All right, put it up on the screen. Hey, Mr. President, how's it going? So you get backlash just going from totally professional, and then just, hey, how's it going? I'll catch you later. Well, it's the communique. Everything is a communique. So
yes. Okay, yes, that's true. That is a very formal word. I thought, so it had been, I had not reread it since whatever year that was, 2020, was it, that we read the original. So the repeated story bits it wasn't too repetitive in that sense, but it does get bogged down partway through, I thought. I mean, I hate to criticize, because Moon People, I gave 5 stars, marked as one of my favorite books on Goodreads. Moon People 2, I mean, as much fun. Like I laughed as much as, I mean, more than any book that I've read in the past year.
Probably the same.
I
Yeah,
couldn't, and
it's absolutely it's still a lot of fun to read. It just doesn't hit that same level that that Moon People 1 does.
yeah,
But yeah, no, this time I was going through. If I just caught a weird
yeah,
sentence, I'd immediately read it to my wife, and she, head down, shaking her head like, "What am I doing here?" Yeah, one time she even
yep,
told me, she's like, yeah, stop reading it.
same,
You're
same.
going to, or stop reading it to me. You're going to spoil it when I want to read it. So,
Wow, I like that. Even if it was, I don't know if that was facetious or not. Um, but yeah, the other thing I wanted to say in favor of Mr. Dale M. Courtney is I don't think I could write a book that would make people
right.
as happy and laugh as much as this book. Like I could write one with better grammar, but like as much as he gets listed on worst books lists, and rightfully so, like I feel like this is something that has a better chance of being read in 50 years than 90% of what's published, 95%. So in that sense, in the survival of the fittest
Well, I think there's
sense,
something to be said about some of
you know,
those. It's so weird. It's just going to kind of fall into that weird. It's going to pick up a weird following. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, the eye of Argon.
Even when we're back to trading cassette tapes because the internet's gone down. Like if somebody's going to have a PDF of this saved somewhere that they print out at their library, and
Right. I am looking forward to reading, like sitting around the fire on a autumn night and reading this to my, I don't know, how old would a child have to be to read Moon People? We'll talk about that too. But first, I wanted to throw out there something else I haven't. So I did look around YouTube a little bit today.
Mhm.
I put in 5 minutes of research to see what's the discourse on Moon People like on YouTube, and I just skimming through episodes, I didn't hear anyone mention that he's also very obviously a Star Trek fan. This is just Star Trek, the original series, self-insert fan fiction, basically. I mean, you've got impulse power, you've got faster than light travel, yellow alert, red alert, tractor beams. He calls his terraforming beam the Genesis, or it's a Genesis thing. Archons are aliens in Star Trek, and first science officer captain David Brain. I mean, that's like 3 different titles shoved into one, but
yeah, it definitely is
very Star Trek-y.
Yeah, and I mean, from it being a self-insert, I was just kind of looking through my notes and the highlights, and there's one point where he goes from third person talking about David to I was just like, oh, this is definitely where he decided, he let it slip through that this was, his self-insert.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot about the accidental shift to first person. Well, what else? Else did you want to?
I think there's, the weird part in this one was that weird digression that he goes into. Like I think, like in the middle of the date. So I actually want to ask you, which digression did you find more entertaining? Was it the Ready Player One atheist screed digression, or was it the sexual revolution digression in the middle of the date in this one?
Maybe I don't remember this from the first one. Was there a PG-13 hard PG-13 turn in the original Moon People?
I don't think it was a hard
that really surprised
PG-13, but there was it definitely got borderline on the PG because they do the
if you actually filmed
because in the first one they did the date at Red Lobster, and then they went back and were busy all night. This one got a little bit more graphic.
Okay.
So
yeah. So I have surprise PG-13 as a section. Here's I didn't do enough prep to get a top 10 list shoehorned in here, but I do have some of my favorite sentences around here. So then the very beautiful Lieutenant Courtney, who is one of the many officers' aides on board. That's the end of the sentence. And the next sentence, walked over to Captain Bramer and gave him a very long, passionate kiss. Then we have Lieutenant Courtney gave back a sexiest smile and said, "Forgive me, Captain, I have a little bit of a hangover." Okay, I do have to interrupt here and make a confession. It was almost the end of the book. It was like probably 9/10 of the way through when I realized that there are two people named Courtney and the author's last name was
was talked about on 372 pages, that there are two people named Courtney, and because I think she was the one that she was the one that showed him around the first lunar base when he first got on.
Wow. Okay, so I'm gonna have to read it. We've got that is good. She took one more drink. Thank you. I sure needed that. How do you feel about?
Oh, that's not even the only place that happens. I think there's a triple all caps later on when they're on the date.
The last one. I was just starting to get to know a woman on Earth right before I left Earth.
Yeah, no,
that might be my
I don't know how graphic we want to get. I think one of my favorite sentences is when they're on the date is that she's laying on top of the red velvet sheets naked as a jaybird. And I'm just like, what is going on here? The entire section I'm just writing, Grandpa, no.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Grandpa No is it was invented for such scenes. For sure. Yeah, I mean there's that. There's some surprising language. My favorite was then the Admiral said,
I've got
"Let's go
that
help
one,
the LB3
and
and get that other snake."
I think it was something like,
bastard.
we're kicking ass or something like that. And we're like 90% of the way through the book, and we're just going to start dropping language.
Right. The Pauline ship that came to help were all good captains. They were kicking some ass, but they did lose a couple more ships. Yep. So, yeah, and then those, and then of course the violence of the battle. I didn't expect there to be a space battle. I thought it would just be happy-go-lucky all the way through.
Yeah, I
Is that
think
in the first?
there's a battle, but it's way off in the distance. Like the Paulines fight the Archons or Thracians, like way out near Pluto. Where's the Earthbound Archons. People are still kind of hovering around the moon. I think at that one, but it's one of those that it's so quick. It might as well not even be in there. But yeah, even this one, it was just like, and then a bunch of stuff happened.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, and it's. I mean, like you were comparing it to Ready Player One earlier. I don't know exactly why this is endearing. I mean, it's certainly written. What's the word? I think you used it earlier.
There's a sincerity to it that you don't get
innocently.
You don't get that with Ernest Cline. There's I think a cynicism in his writing, but this one is just
but there is the same like deflate any tension.
Like one of the
in the next
odd things that's kind of a difference between the first one and this one too is the first one had. I mean, they both have random chapter breaks, but the first one, it was you'd get like a page and a half and then there'd be a chapter break, and so there was a bunch of chapters. This one, he goes the complete opposite direction, and you've got
That's right.
You've got like 20 pages and he just still randomly throws in a chapter break. I think there was one point, I think it's in at the end of chapter 2, beginning of chapter 3, where they're in the middle of a conversation, and then you get the chapter heading for chapter 3, and the conversation just picks up in the first line. So yeah, no, in both of them, he just kind of panics and throws in a chapter break, and
Yes. I don't know what the logic is there. Okay, I wanted to throw another bone to Dale M. Courtney. He is writing this. If he's writing this speech to text and not editing, which I think are both, there's strong evidence for both. He's basically telling a story, like a bard or a skald or some old traveling storyteller that would have just told a story orally, and so I think like the repeated there's some repeated phrases that he'll use.
For
it's as big as a small
all of the
city.
ships are always as big as a small city. Yeah, they've got 2 hospitals, they've got shopping malls. Oh yeah, everybody.
And
I think that
believe how well this works.
Or
some
the overly positive, writing. Like everything is excellent, but at the same time, nobody can believe that something happened.
Right. Because we haven't really.
Oh, there's a plot.
Think we need to really outline the plot, but they're terraforming Mars. They're put 3 10-second bursts.
Well, yeah,
Let's
I was
see what
reading
happens.
through that, and I'm just like,
I hope the clouds clear away.
Is this supposed to happen almost instantaneously? Like, are you going to like throw a 3-second burst and then it's just happening and you can see? Like, I don't know. I've never terraformed a planet before, so. Well, even this
fair.
Yeah, even the scene where
we were so lucky.
The Mars base is testing out. Can you go out on the surface without any gear anymore? Like, is there enough oxygen? Right.
Right.
I'm a fan of actual space history, and so one of the stories that I always heard on Apollo 11 is when, before the mission started, Neil Armstrong's trying to figure out, what am I going to say? Like, I have to say something profound as the first person to talk on the moon. And Mike Collins said, hey, if you have any balls, you'll say, oh my God, what is that? Scream, and then cut your mic. And so I'm reading through this, I'm waiting for that to happen. Like, this guy just takes off his helmet, immediate, hands to the throat, starts gagging just to play a joke on the other guy, and nothing happens. Right.
Everything works, and I can't believe it. I can't believe how well it worked. We're so lucky to know the Paulines, which is the aliens that are not named after an existing Star Trek alien. So again, to compliment him where I'm mostly slagging him, in good fun. If you're telling a story orally, you're going to have like repeated phrases that you're going to use. So like in Homer, you get the Homeric epithets of gray-eyed Athena or crafty Odysseus. So that's the connection between Dale M. Courtney.
Yeah, I think
Homer.
I did.
I believe you made a connection in your Goodreads review.
Well, I know I made a connection to Dante and to Shakespeare at the beginning. Dante invented the terza rima. Shakespeare slavishly stuck to the 5-act structure, and then Dale M. Courtney invented this new structure that has no paragraph breaks, no quotations, and we seamlessly go from first person to second person to third person, not just in one paragraph or on one page, but in one sentence, assuming that you get a complete sentence. So.
Right. Yeah, and only time will tell if it has as much impact as those other writers, those other hacks. Yeah, and then I guess also he didn't do himself any favors by telling a story where everything goes right. Like that's the hardest thing to make interesting. Like if if you wanted to write a story about I don't know about what the eschaton, about what heaven or new heaven, new earth, whatever you want to call it. Like there's no as far the little that we know, there's no dramatic tension there. There's no
right.
There's nothing to
tell
a compelling
I think
story about.
Having that overly positive and nothing bad happens, everything works out, even though nobody expects it to work out as well as it does. There's no tension, there's no drama, there's no story beat, there's nothing to actually climax outside of the hard PG-13. Sorry, I couldn't pass up the obvious joke.
Yeah. Pun intended.
But but that's kind of where I think
so it's endearing.
There's kind of that Bard aspect of the repeated story beats that kind of helps remember where the story is, where it's going, and kind of keep the flow going. But then a lot of it's still just kind of that axe cop of and then this happens, and then this happens, and then this happens. Oh, by the way, this so it's just there's no conflict in the entire thing except for the page and a half of the space battle at the very, very end.
Yep. Oh man. All right. Well, I have a bunch of favorite sentences to read. Do you have any other? And that's all that I have left prepared. So, was there anything else you want to discuss? And then I think maybe we can read some fun parts, and we'll.
I think if we just go to fun sentences, and I'll look through my notes and see if I have any fun sections to read.
Okay, yeah, you pull that up. I've got some from the beginning, some from the end, not as many from the middle, because I didn't finish my show prep. But I feel like that's appropriate here. Okay, so I'm going to start with, that's unbelievable. This is one of the most historical events ever. It's right up there with meeting the Paulines and getting light speed technology. So it's one of the most historical events ever. It's right up there with
another beat that he has is constantly talking about how we traded with the Paulines. That's what I was just going to ask. Like, okay, we got light speed and we got weapons, and we've advanced hundreds of years, according to him. What did they get out of this deal besides
small cities,
allies that don't actually help in the fight in any way? Right? Oh, stemmage. I think it's stemmage.
Potatoes? Stemmage? Wow. Some of what you were referring to with the not expecting casual language in the professional environment. Admiral Benson yelled out loud, "Hey,
I think there's a similar one where
exclamation mark.
When he's at the end of a conversation, he just says, catch you later." Yeah, I think so.
Yep. To the president, probably. Speaking of presidents, I'm gonna skip forward. I really do think that at this moment in time, everyone would have voted any Pauline as the next president if they were running.
Right.
And that's written by a man who worked for 2 U.S. presidents.
So, not to mention, if you want a view from heaven, period, that's the end of the sentence, all you have to do is walk over to your dinning area window.
Which is apparently a word, I guess. And that's why it text to speeches. Admiral Benson spoke up and said, "I know we do not have mornings anymore out here. I just like saying it."
Yeah, I think there's
He must have said good morning first.
one of the communiques I think starts out with tell him I say good morning. It's like, this is an official announcement. Like, can we get to the point?
Yep.
I did highlight that. I said this might be the best thing I've ever read. Yeah, one of the things that comes up again and again is Heather gave David another big, sexy smile. It's always a sexy smile, but it's also that she gives it to him, and like he gives her a smile. Like, how do you give somebody a smile?
True. Well, sometimes she gives him a sexy smile, but sometimes she gives him a sexiest smile. I think this is the part that I laughed the hardest at. It's when they've successfully terraformed Mars, and it turns out there's a lot of animals on the surface, and so Lieutenant Courtney called the kitchen and have them ready some food for a little over 100 animals. And then very soon after that, do we have that much food for all them animals?
Yeah, there's a number of spots where it's just and that's why I think it has to be speech to text, because nobody's going to write it that way.
Yeah.
Then the Admiral said, "No kidding. Excellent, Lieutenant. I can't wait."
All right, a few more and then we'll wrap it up. The Earth looked like it just gave birth to a lot of moons.
It was easily the size of 2-foot ball fields. I don't remember what that was in reference to, but yeah, it was 2-foot ball fields.
I missed that one. I don't remember that one. That's great. Everyone just kept firing all weapons and attacking. The one I keep saying to my wife, everyone everywhere did everything they could to prepare for a major battle. I've got two more. What else do you have?
Yeah, go to your last two, and I might have one or two more.
Okay. They could dart short distances at the speed of light. That one, grammatically, no problems, but I don't know if that checks out if you're traveling at the speed of light.
Yep.
And then my last one, I remember the two things I really wanted to do when I got back to the US of A was to watch the movie Jaws.
Well, that was an interesting point. He was ahead of his time in 2009 with Netflix and chill. So.
Oh. That is what he's most excited about, is watching TV. And there's like an explanation.
Right.
What is his explanation for people just want to watch movies in space? I don't even remember.
Most of this I've tried to put out of my mind.
Yeah, he must have been feeling embarrassed or something, because he tries to explain it like, well, people in the future, they just want to watch movies. That's mostly what they did.
Yeah, right. This is one sentence where I was just like, oh, this is Axe Cop. I think he's talking about the underground digger on Mars. So he says, it's a walking laboratory and a construction miracle, and also an archaeologist and a miner.
Yes.
And then the last one I've got,
yes.
I hope the Paulines kick their butts before they get here. That was the Admiral, and I just said, just like Patton.
Yes. He's got like a cigar out of his mouth. He's got like the blood of an incendiary that went off earlier in the battle. Oh man. Yeah. So thanks, Jake, for coming on. This stuff, I mean, obviously, you know how good this book is. if we're coordinating reads. I think you had mentioned. Did you mention wanting to read Moon People 2? How did this come up even? Moon People 3, yeah. Well, that's my question at the end.
I think I had mentioned that. I'm not sure after reading 2 of them that I am that excited about going forward for a 3rd one. So.
Oh, well, there I will part ways with you, my friend. I remember now. You had read some other book with 372 pages. It sounded horrible.
Yeah. So we the one that they're reading through right now is it's a lit RPG. So
those are popular.
It seems to be popular. It's not Dungeon Crawler Carl or whatever the big popular one is.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot what the name of it is. Welcome to Noobtown. Is the one that they're reading through, and I mean, if it is one of those that's very entertaining. It just like this one. It's kind of, you can tell that there's a sincerity behind it.
Okay.
I'm a little shocked that that his wife read some of the passages and was like, "Yeah, good to go." But yeah,
I mean, did Mrs. Courtney read Moon People 2? I think here's what I think happened. I think she read Moon People 1, and then for the second one, she said, "I don't think I need to read this one, Dale." And it was like the next day. She's like, "I know what's going in the next chapter." That explains the term.
But that also means that Mrs. Courtney read about the 222 and the Red Lobster date and the going all night long too. So
that's true. Is the waitress from Denny's named after Mrs. Courtney in the first one?
I think that.
Any chance?
I think that's what they were trying to figure out. Is his wife's name Cheryl or Cheryl or?
That's right.
But yeah, no, the lit RPG one is, I mean, if you like reading instruction manuals about scrolling through a menu, or just reading RPG stats, it gets to the point it's like 2 or 3 pages of just stats in this one that have nothing to do with the story. So, yeah, no,
like the leaderboard in Ready Player One.
Oh, right, absolutely, yeah. So
that has a plot point at least.
Yeah, I think I would say Moon People would still rank above the lit RPG. One that I had fun with recently, and it was actually the wrong book. So they had announced I'll Be Home for Christmas, cozy Christmas mystery. And I found I'll Be Home for Christmas at the library, but apparently there are 2 I'll Be Home for Christmas books by 2 different authors with 2 completely different storylines. So I read the wrong one, and it takes place in a hotel. My wife used to work at a hotel, so I'm constantly going through that one, just going, I'd read a section, go, so is that how it works? Yeah, I think the one that I got would still give them a lot of fodder for a podcast, but yeah, no, I read the wrong one on that one.
Wow, a happy accident, I guess. Yeah. Great. Well, keep on working away in those trenches. I did stop listening mostly to them after My Immortal broke me. I know that was a long time ago. I do listen to their Encyclopedia Brown episodes.
Oh yeah,
and those are quite fun.
Yeah, it's always fun to see if he can solve the mystery before Mike does.
Yes. There was one, I couldn't believe it. I remembered it from when I was like 10, and somehow the solution for that one had stuck in my head.
Yeah, right.
But otherwise, those are pretty wild. All right. Well, we'll link to 372 pages in the show notes. They are a fun couple of guys.
Yep.
And that's a fun project that they're doing. Jake might not be back for Moon People 3, but Moon People 3 is going to happen. Not this year. I think I want to spread them out. you don't want to eat, an entire cake in the one night. You want to, have a slice each night.
Right.
And so, something to look forward to. If I can't get Jake back, Jake, maybe you can at least you can find out if it's worth going on.
Yeah, for sure. I'll if it's spread out, I might be able to come back for Moon People 3.
Hey,
So-
I waited 5 years for Moon People 2. I could wait another 5 years.
All right. Well, yeah, I think that's all I've got. So,
All right. Well, thanks for joining, Jake. Thanks for having a couple laughs.
yeah, thanks for having me on here. I enjoyed it, and I had a lot of fun.
Justen. Yeah, we should. We'll find something. We can find something less less goofy next time if you like.
Sure,
We'll
sure.
do something good. All right.
All right.
Good night.
Thanks. Good night.